This is a Bailey Pursuit 565, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. Going down the side of the caravan, you've got your wind down legs on either side of the front to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. We'll demonstrate, with these you only put them down to the ground so they touch the ground. You'd never lift the caravan with the legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. On either side of the front you've got storage lockers because you have no front gas bottle locker on this particular van, so you have two lockers at either side of the front to store any accessories in. You then have your water pump connection, which is simple enough to use. You push down the blue trigger and pull the pump out, and push down and release the trigger to put it into the side of the van. You then have your pickup pipe that drops down inside the ack roll, and that pickup pipe needs to be fully submerged in water prior to turning the water pump on, as it will draw air up inside the system if you don't do that. You then got your heating and hot water flow. Heating and hot water flow is very simply there to allow the hot air out of the heater exchange, heat unit, and also any gas vapors that are when the heater's running on gas. You've then got your storage locker at the side of the van here. Your gas bottle locker here at the side of the van. If you need the gas pipe work, we do have that available here on site should you need to buy some. And then we have two gas bottle tie downs, as you can see here, when you're wanting to put gas on board the van. Motor mover and wheel nuts. The motor mover we'll demonstrate here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting prior to you leaving with the van. And you have your two fridge vents on the side of the caravan. Two fridge vents, very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And behind the top cover you'll also find a gas flue for when you're running the fridge on gas. On the side of the van you'll see your two grey waste pipes, so the fresh water that goes in the front will come back out down the side here, so you need to have two bits of grey pipe that go into the larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. Storage locker for underneath the bunks at the rear. Come to the back of the caravan, you'll see the two wind down legs at the rear also. You've then got your toilet flush tank, so you'll open this up and you'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use to allow you to flush the toilet system. And in the bottom here we have the toilet waste cassette itself. Release the orange handle, pull the cassette towards you. The orange neck turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. Then you've got your orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, so when you tip in the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In that cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. Coming down the door side of the caravan, you've got your battery locker. We put a battery on at the moment just to demonstrate everything is working as it should. Your mains power lead coming in from the power on side, your storage locker for this side, and the last wind down leg. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. As you come in the door, on the left hand side you'll see your main control panel for the caravan. So you have your master power switch here on the bottom left hand side, you have your interior lighting, your awning light for the outside of the caravan, and then your water pump switch here on the bottom right hand side, which we'll come back to in a moment. At the top here you've got your voltmeter for the battery on board the caravan, and I'll show you this again in a moment. Once you have the main control panel on, we can go through the water system. I'm just going to turn the radio off, which is working. That turns off with the button just at the bottom, and you also turn it on with this button as well. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side, first of all you are going to see, just down in the corner here, a yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve is the fill and drain system for the caravan. So essentially when that valve's flat with the floor as it is at the moment, you'll be able to fill the water system up on board the van. If that valve's upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it will drain all of the water out of the system onto the floor underneath the van. So with that yellow valve flat with the floor, you can come over to every tap on board the caravan and open them all up on the hot side of the water system. Once all them taps are open, you can press the water pump switch and the water system will start filling. Once you have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, you can then shut all of the taps back off, and then you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. Once the system's filled, you can come over to the control panel on the opposite side of the caravan, up here above the door, or next to the door. I'm just going to turn it off to start with. So when you do turn this control panel off, you need to press and hold the central button, and it will come up with off on the screen. You need to wait till the screen goes completely blank before you turn any of the control panel off below. If you turn the control panel off here before you've turned off the control panel above, it can actually cause problems with the heating and hot water system. So you press the button in the centre and it will come back on. First icon you see flashing is the room temperature. So you hit the button in the centre and spin the dial right or left to set your room temperature. Obviously we're not going to put that on today as it's 23 or 24 degrees, whatever it is. Hit the central button and that will be the heating turned off. Come across to the right and you've got your hot water option. So you press the central button again. You've got off, eco, hot or boost. So the boost is when you're showering on board the van. If you want the water hot, you have it on hot. But if you want it on eco, so it just ticks over at a steady temperature, you can have it on eco. We're going to set it to boost so when you arrive on site the water is nice and warm. Next option here is your power supply coming into the caravan. So you've got gas as a sole power source, mix 1 which is gas and electric at the same time, mix 2 which is gas and electric at the same time, but one is 1000 watts and the other is 2000 watts. You've then got electric 1 which is 1000 watts of electric on its own, and electric 2 which is 2000 watts of power electric on its own. If you use the mixes, it will boost and heat the water systems and the heating a lot quicker than if it is just on the electric side. Now on the end here, you have your fan option. So you've got fan off, and when the heating is actually turned off, the fans won't come on. But when they are on, this will go to 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. And you'll be able to select the fan speed you want, and that will start kicking in as it is needed with the heating system on board the van. At the bottom of this control panel, you do have some advanced options down here, as you can see. However, for these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. If I tried to explain them in the video, it'd probably take me 3 to 4 hours to complete. But just remember, if you are going into these settings, make sure you fully understand them before you try operating them, as it can cause problems with the heating and hot water system turning itself off in the background if you turn this off in the wrong, or you hit the wrong settings with the control panel. So to be honest, it's sometimes just worth running it through the control panel at the top. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliance, no difference at all there. The microwave again is very much the same, that works like your household microwave, so you don't need to do anything different there at all. So up with the microwave is an eco microwave, so you actually have to hit the eco button here to wake it back up, and when the screen goes blank you'd have to press the button again to get it to wake back up again. Next up is the fridge. Now the fridge is very simple to use. So to use the fridge, you've got a power option on the left hand side here. You've got the power sources. So at the top here, you've got your off position. To the right hand side, you've got your 240 volt mode. So you can select 240 volt mode for when you're on mains powered sites. On the opposite side then, you've got your control for the temperature of the fridge. So you've got lower or higher to control the temperature itself. So on mains mode, you can control the temperature on the dial on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you've got your 12 volt option here. 12 volt option is for when you're towing the caravan down the road. So if you kept towing the caravan down the road, you can actually connect the caravan up to the car. And then if you've got the right power connection coming from your car to your caravan, you'll be able to use the fridge as a cool box. You'll have no temperature control, as it is just a cool box mode, very similar to the little portable cool boxes that you use when you're traveling, etc. You then got gas mode at the bottom here, so you can run the fridge on gas. So you put the dial to the bottom here, you press it in the temperature control and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge has ignited on gas, you'll have this dial on the left hand side with this orange line in it that will come round into the green when it has fully ignited. If that orange line stays in the green when you've held in the temperature control, then it will be ignited, and when you can slowly release the gas valve on the left hand side once it has fully ignited and that orange line has stayed there, you'll be able to control the temperature on the dial on the right hand side here. Coming through into the bathroom now, and the last piece of the caravan we're going to go through, we have the toilet flush on top of the toilet, electric flush. I have a toilet full indicator light that illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you do need to make sure this toilet is pointing towards the front of the caravan, so it allows you to remove that cassette. Then below the toilet, you'll actually see the grey waste handle. You need to pull this grey waste handle into the open position when you're using the toilet, and then into the closed position when you're not using the toilet. If you don't have this in the central position, in the closed position, when you are trying to remove that toilet waste cassette, you'll actually damage the toilet waste cassette as you try to remove it. We do advise when you drain down the water system after use that you open all the taps back up in the central position and open the yellow valve underneath the seat, and we also advise that you put the shower head down to the floor when the caravan is in storage. So this is a Bailey Pursuit 565. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.